the structure query language where the data contains the rows and columns like step-by-step command line interactions which you can make it using the SQL, which you have already know. It's a structure query language where the data has been written in an organized way with the help of a rows and columns, generally like a tables. So whatever you design, it's nothing but the tables. So first, like to work with the MySQL, we need to install something called as connector. The moment when you install the connector, you needed to go ahead and use your credentials with the passcode and the host. Then you can establish the connection. The moment when you establish the connection, you can write execute all your SQL formulas inside this particular console of Python. Okay, to do that, you need to use something called as import mysql.connector. Okay, always remember, guys, there is one particular thing which you always need to do. You need to use import mysql.connector. To why you are using mysql.connector? To just connect to the databases. Clear here? This module. So connector is establishing nothing but a connection. So mydbcon, nothing but an object, guys, which I have taken. You can write pretty much x is equal to also. That's your wish. So to for understanding way, I have wrote my database connection like this. Then I said mysql dot connector dot connect. Then I said host is equal to localhost because our machines all will be in the localhost. Put a comma, then you need to write user. Always it would be root, like since like we are using it as root. Password, like any password you can type, guys. So for a training purpose, since I have installed this, I have used test at the rate 123. Okay, guys. So these are the only three things which it's mandatory for you to write: the host, user, and password at the time of the setup of MySQL on your computer. Clear? So that you are actually telling the ID that we are using a MySQL, but we are trying to make a connection. To make a connection, you need some credentials like this with this particular module called SQL connector. Okay. So now, the moment when you get the connection, now you need to establish the connection. Nothing but you need to lock the connection. Like you remember, like when you connect to the Wi-Fi, the first thing is it will be something like connecting. The moment when it is connected, it will show you as connected, right? Right. You're understanding what I mean, right? So get that connected word. Okay, we will do something called as MySQL. My cursor is equal to my database connection dot cursor. So there's nothing but a method which you can help you to lock the connection. Nothing but to establish the connection. Clear, guys? Till here? So the moment when it is connected, now it's all yours. Now the database, now the SQL is all yours where you can execute all your SQL commands. So this is nothing but a SQL formula to go ahead and show the databases what exactly present inside my particular database connections. So the moment when you say result is equal to my cursor dot execute SQL formula, when you print the databases like this, you would be able to get the output. So currently I have few errors like on my computer where like since it's a Mac, so this particular programs are specially written for the Windows. So that's the reason there is an error. But the moment when you execute this particular program, you would automatically get what are the databases which are available in your particular thing. Cool, guys. Did you understood this? Getting to know how to do it. For example, the formula for this, like, see, when you work with the MySQL, especially, you'll have a certain commands that when you establish the MySQL, the first thing you need something called as a database, so that you can write, so that you can create your tables, you can view your tables, you can perform all the operations. That is the first rule. So you require a database. So here you can see I have already executed a formula called MySQL formula create database is equal to mydb, nothing but my database. Okay, so that's a reason when I am writing when I am wanted to do all my operations, I needed to do in this particular my database connection. After creating it, what did I do is in the mysql dot connector I have wrote something called as database is equal to mydb. The moment when this particular connection will look for to make a connection, it will directly go into your database, and the moment when you keep on performing all your SQL operations, it would be done only under your database. Like that, you can create a number of databases, guys. So you don't have to worry. Let us say you design a sample database to go ahead and work on with some practice purposes, and you define some employee base where you have defined certain tables with the names, columns, age, and as well as their particular salary or whatever it could be. You have defined that, so you wanted to do, so you can create the databases like this. So the moment when you write the database is equal to, this is my database, this is my created database. Cool, guys. So now I have established a connection by using my cursor is equal to my database connection dot cursor to establish the connection. Then I can perform all the SQL values. Like I have said, SQL formula. I have said create table of employee. Create table is a command from SQL. Employee is the name of the table. Okay, where I have said ID is nothing but the name of the column, but I have used this data type which is limited with the 10 digits. So integers cannot be, you cannot input the integers more than 10 plus. You can only integers, you can only input only 10 numbers. Then I have used another column. Then I have set something called as varchar 25. You can pretty much put 255 characters inside this particular data type. Generally like a uh, generally like a string. Guys, are you there, right? Hello. Sorry, I guess meeting has been ended, not mine. But integer varchar, and this particular salary is nothing but the name of the column, and the salary would be nothing but an integer. That's the reason I have taken integer. You can put input 10 values. If you want to limit something, you can put number 5, you can put number 15, you can put only 5 letters, or you can put only 10 characters, like that. Okay, guys, that's nothing but a limit which you put it to your field. Okay, cool. So now the moment when you say mycursor.execute SQL formula, it will be able to help you to create a table. When you create a table, now of course you require that particular table to insert some data like what is the ID, what is the name, and what is its salary. So you can do that generally like this. Like you can directly write something as, wait a moment, to view your particular content, you can just type for db in my cursor and print db. You would be able to get all the databases which are executed in this particular my cursor. Okay, so now when you say after creation of the table, generally just like a SQL, see, the only one thing in Python you need to remember is this particular module, that is nothing but MySQL.connector, and you needed some credentials so that it can make the connection with your credentials like hostname, username, password, database. For every program, this particular three lines remains the same. Okay, so that you can perform all your CRUD operations, nothing but create, read, update, and delete. Okay, so now you can say my cursor is equal to my database connection dot cursor to establish the connection. And when you create a table, when you wanted to view the particular content, what exactly inside the table, you can directly write as SQL formula, select everything from employee. The moment when you write select star, star stands for which holds the reference for all the information inside this particular table called employee. So this is nothing but a SQL formula. Do not get confused. Select is nothing but a keyword which is in SQL, which says that import everything from the employee table, all the data. So when you say my cursor dot execute the SQL formula, and the moment you needed to do something called as fetch out, so that it will fetch all the result and store it in my result, and my result you can directly use for tb like this to print the content what and all it is there. So like that you would be able to get all the particular SQL information inside this particular my database connection. So now the other thing what I would like to show you is, a moment, directly you can just go here and you can visit connect3schools.com. I'm not promoting this website, by the way, but this is the website which actually looks cool, and you would have the content step by step just to learn the SQL, guys. I'm not referring this particular thing, just to understand the SQL. You can download the complete content, like how to use introduction of the SQL syntaxes from the left hand side. Okay, you can do the minimum update. You can do the SQL commands like update. How do you update the database? How do you update the information? How do you delete the content? Basically, you if you say delete from table name where condition, like if you say delete, if you have a numbers from 1 to 10, let's say if you want to delete all the odd numbers, so you can pretty much write the condition. If I is great, if I percentile 2 is not equal to 0, it will delete all the information which are odd with the ID. So you said delete from table name. If you just give the table name without where condition, it will delete the table. If you say delete table name where condition, it will be able to give you the, it will only be able to delete the certain information for you. So you can directly practice here SQL things, guys, just directly by clicking like this. For example, like try it yourself. When you click this, it will directly take you to an SQL editor where you can run this particular SQL commands like this. The moment when you run the SQL commands, you would be able to get the information. Since you need to create the database first, like by using update, first you need to create the particular characters like table 1, column 2, column 3 like this, so that you would get a table in this particular form. This is the data which is written in the rows and format thing. So do not get confused what exactly I'm trying to tell. I'm not explaining you the MySQL, but I'm telling you you can learn MySQL in a very best way, like using what is between, what is alias, what is join, what is inner join, left join, right join, full join. This will also help you to tackle the interview questions. See, I have shown you how to go ahead and create the database. Like if you write create database, test database, you can create a test database where you can interact with that particular database and you can use in your particular thing. And generally like that, you can perform lot of operations which you can work with SQL. You can directly practice the quiz, you can directly do these SQL exercise. Since it's a vast course itself, so you needed to go ahead and input some information inside it. Okay, guys. So do not get confused. Let me just go back to the PyCharm once again, so that you can understand what we are trying to do. Okay. So now in this, I would like to tell you one more thing. The presentation mode. So guys, like what are the steps which is involved in the MySQL to connect the database? What is the module do we use? If a question is raised to you, what module do you use to connect with the MySQL? What would you say? It is nothing but the MySQL dot connector. Clear? Yes, MySQL dot connector. So basically, what we are doing is we are establishing the connection. We are connecting to the server. We can directly go ahead and install the My Database connection. I would like to give a setup once again. I hope you have got it or not. I'm not sure. So I'm just writing again here MySQL. If you type community server, okay, MySQL community server. When you click on the download MySQL community server, I'm doing it once again with you guys. Just see. So here automatically it will directly get your operating system, where it will ask you to enter the information as nothing but 407. You just click on download like this. Okay, then it will ask you to log in and sign up. Do not click anything. There you would have a hyperlink saying it as no thanks, just start my download. When the moment when you click this, it will automatically download the particular software for you. Okay, since I'm pausing this, I would like to show you why I'm doing. The moment when I install this, I would get this particular window, like something called as active instance, which I would be installed, and it is nothing but it's connected right now. Okay, you can directly uninstall in the future if you want it. It's better to keep it as a learner to have the interaction with the MySQL as well. So here you will also get your directory. You can stop your MySQL server whenever you want, and you can click on this check option. If you check this particular option, 1 minute guys, just be online. Okay, sorry for the interruption, guys. What I was like trying to explain you is the moment when you download the MySQL community server, it will be able to, once you install that. So what are the things which would be needed? You would already, your host is nothing but would be a local host. A similar code would be user would be always, it would be root unless you change any username. password. This is the main thing, guys. So use any particular password, just like 123 or something. I have just wrote it password test at the rate 123 like that. Then after that, whatever you input here in your database, so that you can perform all the actions by using mycursor.execute the SQL formula. Okay. So now when I minimize this, the other thing is, see, now I have installed the MySQL, but I needed something to work with that, right? So I have something called as MySQL Workbench. With me, guys? Are you able to hear me? Okay. So when you type the MySQL Workbench, just go ahead. This would directly redirect you to the MySQL official website. Click on this particular download now option. Again, it will similarly take you back to the MySQL OS, where it was required for you to download 110 MB. So just click that particular thing. So based on if you see a 32-bit operating system, 64-bit operating system, just right click on your My Computer, just check the properties. What are the properties? Is it a 64-bit operating system or is it a 32-bit operating system? Based on that, you can choose your operating system and download this particular .exe file. Here it would be, for Mac it would be .dmg file. Do not get confused. Similarly, do not log in or sign up unless you wanted to contribute anything to this official Oracle site. Directly just click on no thanks, start my download. The moment when you click on start my download, it will be downloading you the workbench. Okay, let it download so that I can be able to open it and see if it is working in my particular computer. So currently, guys, you can see here. I would like one more thing about this particular Mac. So this is not an this is not a new version. So this I'm just using Catalina. So that's the reason I would have some few issues where I needed to set up some environments. So when I open this, it will directly verify this particular content from the website, where it will verify the package so that it can extract the package, help me with all the setup so that I can use a workbench in like inside my particular computer. Cool, guys. Understanding about the MySQL community server and MySQL workbench, what I'm trying to achieve. Okay, so these are the two things request you to download without fail so that you can work out with all those particular codes. Okay, so now one more thing, guys. If you have any if you have any errors on the MySQL part and all, do let me know in the future. We can have one more session. So now let me just open this. Since I have already many files, that's the reason this operation like it seems like this. Do not get confused what I'm trying to do. You can see this due to the software issues, like it's throwing me an error. Workbench is the thing for me right now, so I did figure out a way to go ahead and have it on my particular computer. But it was working fine, but I don't know, due to some reasons after updating, I got this error like MySQL Workbench dot app cannot be opened because Apple cannot check it is for the so like that there would be an error where I would just required for me to go ahead and do some security issues, accept that particular connections, then I would be able to use this my workbench. So for you would not have any issues. As I said you the setup steps for the community server and the workbench, I would have shown you if I would have had a Windows computer just now right now. So just install that, use the setup, just note down the passcode and the username, and when you do it with the workbench, just log in with the same username and password so that you can see all the databases and all. Okay, so when you use this particular code, when you install MySQL connector, right click on this, show contacts, like you can get an install option. Since I've already installed option, I'm not getting it. You can directly do that, or you can directly go ahead here on the views, you can click on the tool windows, go to the terminal. So since I am in right now, I'm in the Python interpreter. I'll exit from this. This is when you write exit, you would be exit from that. If you type Python install MySQL like this also, if you hit enter, it will directly go ahead and install all the setups for you. Since I have the issues here, as I said you, so for your in your computer it works fine. You can just type directly connector like this. You would be able to go ahead and install the setups. For example, see if I type pip install, let's say numpy. let's say panda. Okay, if I install this, see, it would be going ahead and help me with the setup errors over here. So that's the reason I would just figure out a way to go ahead and fix this. For now, I want you to just download the MySQL server, community server, and the workbench. The moment when you install it, try to use the particular code and just go to the w3schools.com, where you can learn the basics of the MySQL interactions of how to create the database, how to create a table, and try to view it using the Python. That's it, guys. Cool, understood what I'm trying to explain. Like to give you on the pandas front. See, on the pandas, how what exactly you can do. So nothing but you can directly type import pandas like this, and you can pretty much work with the pandas. Okay. So let me just open a new particular file. You can pretty much type like import Python. If you type pandas like this, okay, right click on that, check if it's allowing you to accept the package. So you can also, I think you can also do pip install pandas like this, and when you do it, I think you would be able to install. Let's see, you tried from your end as well. So it's installing the package like this, so you can install the package like that. You can also type numpy and you can also install the package. So now the Python, especially, like I would like to give you whereas the pandas stand for the, you can create the database data frames using the pandas. Like if you wanted to excel your career, like if you are able to get the Python and the advanced Python, and if you wanted to excel on the numpys, and if you wanted to excel on the pandas part, you would be able to go ahead and do that. Okay, so that itself is another course. Once again, if you wish to opt, let Shravan know about it. Okay, so that it will also help you in terms of microservices, like when you do it like at an expert level. Okay, that is one of the things. So Django, guys, Django is nothing but a web framework. Okay, so let me just open open the Django over here. One moment. Yeah, the name it will be like D Django. One moment. So Django is again like it's a free and open source web application framework. It's written in Python. It offers a big collection of modules which you can use in your own project. It is a best in industry for rapid development and pragmatic design without compromising the features. So you have certain features working with. So basically, it has been designed on the model view template architecture, guys. Okay, model view template architecture. What like if you are confused what are model, basically it describes your database schema and data structures. So views, it will control what a user sees. Okay, how it is been retrieved from the executive models. So like that you would be able to get to know about the templates. So I would like to directly show you some sample code without making it like this. So let me just open pleasure coding. I just designed some student project like this. See, the moment when I open this particular project, it contains a various file. So it would be very difficult for a Python beginner to directly look into this particular files and go ahead and do the operations and understand what exactly we're trying to achieve. So Django is nothing but a web framework, as I said, you just like a website, what you see, and it has a backend as an admin panel where you can just log in and use it for your like what exactly you wanted to use it for. So like this, you would design your project which contains a number of files, project files and the application files. This is my project file. Okay, this is my application file. Nothing but become expert is an name of my application. Okay, my name of my project is pleasure coding, where I have designed few templates in the HTML, where it's like it contains the about page. Okay, like in the HTML content you would be able to get it, so which you would be knowing it now. So pleasure coding, you would have the moment when you create a project, it will automatically create a certain files for you where you're not required for you to do any extra coding. Okay, so now you directly get init file, asgi file, settings.py, and you also get urls.py, ws.py. When you create an application again, you would get, this is nothing but the migrations what I have made on this, so do not get confused. You would get the apps.py, models.py, test.py, urls.py, views.py. See, it would be very confusing for you as of now to jump into this, but for in the future, if you wanted to excel your career in the web frameworks where it is involved for you to design any website and to hold a backend or complete backend like an admin interface where you design the particular models and you can pretty much use it for anything. So you would learn the post pre-request and everything inside it. How do you when anyone enters your website and input some information like user information or like contact information to contact with, get in touch with the website owner, you can actually do that. So it actually takes much practice at an intermediate level of Python at least for to understand all the files and systems, the architecture, how exactly it's been designed. So it takes a lot of notes and lot of things for you to learn Django after Python. Okay, so since you are ready, since the syllabus is done, you're ready, I can say, but still you require a lot of practice. Once you have a lot of practice, then again I think you would be like, you can call yourself as an intermediate in Python. The moment when you get intermediate in Python, you can pretty much start excelling your skills. Python with MongoDB, Python with MySQL, you can just go ahead, since we have already learned, you can learn MySQL, you can make a connection, and you can learn Python with MySQL. You can learn Python with machine learning. Okay, you can learn Django, you can learn you can yeah, I mean, like, you can learn Flask as well. It is also a web framework designed in Python, so you can pretty much learn like that and you can excel your career. So most of the industries right now, it's looking for the Django and Python experience skilled candidates. So even though if it is Python, that's still fine as a fresher, but if you wanted to get into like have a complete knowledge of it, so just to try to learn the Django also. That's what I would suggest you. Okay, guys, so this is it from my end. I would like to just say thank you. Any doubts for me, so that we can connect tomorrow again? So tomorrow I would be designing a test for you where you would be receiving an email from me exactly at 9:30. Guys, you're with me, right? What I'm talking about? Hello. Okay. Okay. I was just keep talking, so I couldn't get whether you're there or there. So we are just ending the session, by the way. So what I'm huh. That's okay. You don't have to decide. Now you should be excited because now it's your time for to excel. So by the way, what I wanted to say is tomorrow exactly at 9:30, Yadudev, Kalai, please update Kalai also, Prabhu and Melvin. Exactly at 9:30 sharp, you're going to get a test paper from my end. Okay, you take your time, but I would just refrain to use the internet to get the answers, because the problems which I have give, mostly you cannot find unless it's a palindrome or prime or Armstrong or not. Or mostly have given some logical test questions for you where you need to go ahead and make sure you need to write the course. The syllabus involved for this test would be from the starting, from the basic to the advance of the complete Python. Okay, where you have involved to write some scenario questions, like you involved to design the classes and also. I request you to practice a lot. You have time till 9:30. The moment when I get you the paper, like, I want you to please share that particular test paper at least end of the day, or at least at least by Saturday morning. Okay, so by Saturday morning you guys should be able to send me that particular test, so you would get exactly at 9:30. Also update the Kalai. The moment when you complete the test, I would like to review. So Saturday morning when we would meet exactly at 9:30 or 10 o'clock. 10. Yadu, is it fine on Saturday 10? This would be last class, Yadu. Okay, so make sure you get all the doubts, guys. We will have an awesome session. Like, since it was the last day, so I would like to refresh you on everything. So make sure you get the doubts. Make sure you prepare properly. Do not copy paste your questions. There should be a see each, if you do the particular test paper, definitely that would be different from the other. So request you not to copy. It's okay even though if you fail. I'm not going to judge you. All I just wanted you to put your efforts and wanted to see whether you understood or not. Okay. So we will discuss everything on like Saturday, but Friday you can expect the questions from my end. Cool, guys. Okay. Thanks, Melvin. Thanks, Prabhu. Thanks, Yadudev. Relax. Have a great day. So we will meet directly on Saturday. Okay. Saturday, 10 a.m. Okay. I'll be there on time, guys. Do not worry. I'll try to be there at 9:30 itself, or max to max we can. But definitely we are starting our session on 10 o'clock. Okay. So you guys can be there by 10 o'clock. Cool. Thanks. Thanks, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye.